And as all of you know, or most of you know, we house these on the Montana State Fire Chief's webpage. You can go back all the way back to the end of 2020 and see everything that we have recorded in the past. So tonight we have Walter Campbell with us. And Walter has worked with First Arriving for 3 years. He is coming to us from Maryland. He works, like I said, with First Arriving. And First Arriving is an organization that helps support the Montana State Fire Chiefs and the Montana State Volunteer Firefighters Association with our recruitment and retention campaign. So Walter is a recruitment strategist, coach, and trainer. He has over 15 years of recruiting experience. Walter specializes in crafting creative and innovative recruitment marketing strategies, leveraging social media platforms, tools, and resources to connect organizations with talent. Walter, oh, my little clock's going off in the back, sorry. Walter has promised that his presentation is informative, and he likes to combine creative engagement experience to impact his audience. He believes in the power of humor, uplifting to inspire and connect people with all walks of life. We really encourage any questions that you have. Don't be afraid to put on your cameras or put anything in the chat. And at the end, you will see in the chat, I'm going to put a link to a certificate of attendance and also an evaluation. We really encourage you to participate in that evaluation. Tell us what kind of things you'd like to hear in the future. So with that being said, Walter, welcome, and here we go.
All right. Thank you so much, Kim. Again, good evening. Thanks for everyone for joining in. Again, harnessing the power of social media for recruitment, turning likes into firefighters. As Kim said, this is going to be very informative, very interactive. Please, if you have a question, if you have a comment, don't hesitate to turn on your microphone or your camera, or go ahead and put a comment in the chat box, and I'll make sure that we get to it and that we address it as we go along. I definitely don't want this to be a death by PowerPoint, because I do want to make sure that your time is well spent. But with that, I'll tell you a little bit more about myself. Okay. As a Walter Campbell recruitment and retention strategist, I'm working now with First Arriving, which is a marketing and technology company, specifically right now in the world of fire and EMS. We also do dashboards, websites, recruitment videos, recruitment and retention. We cover the gamut of all things marketing and technology in the fire and EMS world. And we are great to partner with Montana State Fire Chiefs Association on their recruitment project. If you haven't seen the recruitment stuff that we've been doing, make sure you go to Join Montana Fire and check out some of the cool stuff that we're doing. About myself, I'm originally from California, which is why you see I went to Elk Grove High School in Sacramento, California, which is why you see a photo of the greatest center that has ever played in the NBA, which is Bill Cartwright, who graduated from my high school. I also served 20 years active duty in the United States Air Force, where I retired as a recruiter down in the South Jersey area. And I got into recruiting in the Air Force at the tail end of my career. And it was something that I just had a passion for, I had a knack for. It's where I probably should have been my entire career, but fortunate enough to find it and then be able to transition and continue my recruiting progress throughout my career once I retired. I am a personal morale and humor enhancement professional. All right, so here's the first engagement piece in the chat. Guess what a personal morale and humor enhancement professional is. I'm gonna wait and see what we have. A couple folks put some ideas in the chat of what do you think a personal morale and humor enhancement professional is. Right. This isn't like Apple where the bubbles pop up to see anybody's. Oh, cheerleader, like that one. Okay, cheerleader, very close. Marcos, very, very close. Okay, all right. Um, all right. So for those that can't tell by the other photo, oh yes, there you go, Amy. Stand-up comic. The photo is right there. Photo is right there. Yes, I'm a stand-up comic. I've been doing stand-up comedy for almost 30 years now. Toured across the country, toured across the world, performing for different venues, colleges, corporate, churches, bar mitzvahs, birthday parties, divorce parties, you name it, I performed at it. And so I love what I do, and which is why I try and incorporate humor into my presentations. For those that want to contact me, there's a QR code right there that's going to lead you to my business card. You can take down my information, phone number, email, and all social media. And then also, if you just want to go ahead and link up with me while we're engaging today, at Consult with Walt is where you can find me on all social media platforms. So let's dive into social media because we know what social media is. I had this slide and it was going to tell you what social media is, but I think we kind of know what social media is. And most of us, if not all of us, are continue to use it. If you don't use social media, you're probably still getting an AOL disc once a month sent to your mailbox. So we'll work on that. If you are, raise your hand and we can talk offline. All right. So when we use social media, and we all at some point in time are using social media, and the main platforms, when we're talking about utilizing it for recruitment for our specific departments, there are a couple of things that we need to know. The biggest thing that we need to be able to recognize is that we want to determine your objectives. When you're using it specifically for your department's page, and when we're talking about recruitment, when we're just talking about your department page in general, um, we want to make sure that your objectives are clear. And so we want to align your social media use with your department's recruitment goals and objectives. And again, so, across the state of Montana, there are a lot of different departments. And so maybe you're recruiting for different things, right? Maybe you are recruiting for fire or EMS folks, cadets, and those 7 lists that are right there. And your recruitment post should be specific and directed to who you're looking for at that time. But that's going to be based off of what your department truly is trying to look for. And so if you think about, most times we just throw a blanket recruitment post, volunteer with us today, join us today. And so what I want you to start trying to think about, and what's going to help you become more successful, is when you start being specific in who you're recruiting and taking a look at your goals. Each one of those that are listed on the screen, each one of those audience um, are different, right? And require different things. And we're going to talk a little bit about those, right? So again, the post that you have for your empty nesters is going to be different than you have for your college students, and all of those different things. So we'll take a look at specifically your target audience and where they are. Right. So the social media channels, we know majority of them are going to be the big 3 or Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and you can also add LinkedIn. We'll say 4. So the big 4: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, which is now X. We're still going to call it Twitter just because X. I haven't crossed over yet, so it's still Twitter/X. And then also LinkedIn is also very popular, right? And so the questions that you want to ask is, again, know your audience, right? The first question is, who is your target audience? Going back to the previous slide, those lists of 7 different audiences that you're trying to specifically recruit for. Who is your target audience? Who do you want to click, apply, join, and engage with? That's your first question. The second thing is, where is your audience? And a lot of times we miss this step. We figure out who we want. I need firefighters, I need interior, I need exterior, I need auxiliary, whatever it is, we can figure that one out really well. What stops us a lot of times is where they're at. And so what we're going to do, we're going to talk about exactly where those folks are. Let's break it down a little bit. So let's take a look at our young folks, 18 to 30. Yes, if you are 30, I am calling you young. All right, so be happy about that. If you don't hear any good news throughout the week, if you are 28 and above to 30, you are now young in my book. Okay, so if you're looking for these folks right here, are young adults, here are the 4 places that they're going to be. They're going to be on Instagram, they're going to be on TikTok, they're going to be in Snapchat, and they're going to be on Twitter/X, right? They're highly active on social media, and often they're looking for ways to contribute to their communities, right? And so you have to be able to say that in a way that's going to attract them. And one of the biggest ways to do that is to highlight those 3 things. You want to highlight adventure, you want to highlight teamwork, and you want to highlight those personal growth opportunities. And how we do adventure, maybe it's training nights, maybe it's those calls. Now we all know you can't you can't arrange or schedule an adventurous call, right? But we all have those cameras. Most departments will have either video cameras or somebody there to take photos, somebody there to take videos. And so when we get back to the stations, those are critical and great pieces and sources of content that we can start utilizing to capture the attention and engage with our young folks. So adventure, teamwork. When we have those training nights, most departments are having training nights at least once or twice a month. Some departments are doing it once a week. You want to film those training nights. You want to be able to take photos of those training nights, show the people what they're going to be doing. A lot of times they hear, oh, we just go to the fire station and we just sit down and don't do anything. And they hear word of mouth. And we know that's not true. There's always training going on. So you just want to make sure that you showcase that and show them that. And then the personal growth opportunities. I hear it all the time. Gen Z doesn't want to do anything. They're lazy. I hear it all. Trust me, I hear it, but I disagree. What Gen Z is looking for primarily, a lot of it is one, work-life balance. We'll talk, and that's another conversation, but they're looking for personal growth opportunities. They're looking for ways to enhance themselves when they're going out into the workforce or as they grow and get older. And how can our department help them with that? Well, we'll say a lot of times we offer free training, which is great because we do, but they're looking for, try utilizing this terminology instead. How about instead of saying free training, we say we provide free certifications. It might be state certifications, it might be county certifications, Fire 1, Fire 2, some EMT certifications like that, that those certifications they can take and utilize in a professional and personal growth as they move on in their career and as they get older and move forward. That's a lot more beneficial to them than just free training. Free training means I just go to the station, learn some stuff, and I'm on my way. The certification shows that I'm a proven professional. I'm trained in a certain area, and I can take this information, I can take this certification and go on and build upon it. So those are some of the things that we want to try and sell when we're trying to reach those young adults. And again, on those certain platforms. All right, when we're looking at our college and university students, right, and a lot of times when we say college, we forget about the trade schools and we forget about junior colleges. So I'm including all of them: junior college, trade schools, universities, everybody, higher learning, right? Once you graduate high school, here's where, excuse me, here's where your audience is going to be. They're going to be on Instagram, they're going to be on LinkedIn, and they're going to be on Twitter/X. That's primarily where these folks are going to be, right? These folks are looking for volunteer opportunities, right? They may word it as internships. And again, they're looking at ways to build their resume. And so the landscape provides a lot of that. We just aren't well versed at utilizing the words that they're looking for. So internships and ways to build their resumes. And I'm pretty sure there's some grumpy faces out there that'll probably say, well, they're just using our department to get ahead, to get these certifications, and then they move on in 2 to 3 years. We have to be realistic nowadays to get a volunteer. Once they've completed all of the necessary training and to provide or to get a true return of investment, you're looking at about 2 years. So 3 years in total, most times if they're starting from scratch. If you can get 3 years out of a volunteer, you're actually doing very well. Anything more than that, you're doing great. So let's just, let's accept that. Let's say, okay, I understand that you may not be here long. We want to be able to utilize them as long as we can. And understand this, if you treat them well, most times they'll either go and come back, or they may not leave at all, right? So when you're on these channels, when you're looking for your college, university type students, those three things that you want to promote: your volunteer programs, right? You're involved in the community, again, internship opportunities, and career development benefits. How is being a volunteer going to help them in their career? And it may not be in fire, it may be be a first responder, it may be in leadership. You look at your ROTC military folks, right? They're always looking for leadership type of involvement in activity. So those are some of the things that you want to promote when you're posting and creating social media posts targeted to your college and university students. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat, or turn your mic on and just go ahead and blurt it out. There are 15 of us here, so it's still a really good environment that we can have a dialogue and conversation. All right, local businesses, organizations. How can we interact with, in a recruitment sense, with our local businesses and organizations? Partnering with our local, it's going to increase your visibility and support within the community for your recruitment efforts, right? So I have a friend of mine who's a stand-up comic in San Antonio, and his name is Cleto Rodriguez. Very, very funny gentleman. We've been friends for a long time. And during the pandemic, Cleto caught COVID. And Cleto is a full-time comic. He doesn't have benefits, and healthcare like I had with the military. And so he caught COVID, and it hurt his income coming in. Of course, the pandemic had already hit us. And so every year, Cleto and I would tag team and do a holiday party for a gentleman who owned 7 McDonald's restaurants. And so what this gentleman would do is he would close down all of his McDonald's for one night, and he would have a holiday party for all of his employees at all 7 of his McDonald's. And Cleto and I would tag team as the entertainment for the evening, being a host and a comedian. And so we've done this gentleman's holiday party for about 8 or 9 years consistently. And so when Cleto went down, we had built a really good friendship with the gentleman. When Cleto hit hard times with COVID, the gentleman came up with an idea that every Tuesday he would do a Cleto meal at all of 7 of his McDonald's. And basically it was just a number 7 cheeseburger meal. But on Tuesdays, it was called the Cleto meal, and all proceeds went to Cleto. And so if you think about how working with a local business, how many people do you think came through the drive-through or came through a McDonald's on Tuesday and bought the Cleto meal? One, just because it was Cleto, or two, the marketing, seeing it on the marquee and seeing it on the menu order helped increase business and sales for Cleto, right? And so when I saw that, I thought about how we can utilize that in recruitment. And so we have clients that have gone to local businesses, restaurants, and things of that nature, and teamed up with, let's say, a pizza restaurant to create the Inferno Pizza, right? And it might be the Campbell Volunteer Fire Department Inferno Pizza. And so it's the hottest pizza you can ever have. And so Now the local pizza establishment has a pizza that's named after my volunteer fire department. I'm going to send my folks down to get this pizza and take photos with the pizza, and maybe even have a contest. Maybe it might be pizza, it might be wings, but different businesses and local organizations that you can combine with and connect with can help you with your recruitment, right? And the things that you want to do is you want to highlight, again, your partnership opportunities, sponsorships, and community support programs. Anytime somebody does something for you nice, buys food, brings food to the station, and just does something kind out of their heart, make sure you recognize them. Take those photos, make sure you post it, because that's going to, not only are you reaching your network, but you're reaching the businesses and organizations network as well, right? And so those organizations might be the Lions clubs, or boys and girls clubs, might be a youth uh, football or baseball or softball or soccer program in your area that you're sponsoring as a fire department. Maybe they're sponsoring your softball team or your athletic teams in your departments, but you want to make sure that you recognize those folks on social media, and it's going to definitely increase your visibility and support your recruitment efforts. All right, retirees and older adults, that would be me, right? We're on Facebook. That's where we're at, right? That's pretty much where we're going to be. We're going to be on Facebook, maybe LinkedIn, but on the regular, we're probably just going to be on Facebook. And if you don't have Facebook and you don't have social media, again, I can send you an AOL disk in the mail. But our older adults, right? When we, again, be specific. They have a lot more free time. They're looking to give back. It may not be in an operational capacity. Maybe they can be the auxiliary. Maybe they have bookkeeping skills. Maybe they can be your quartermaster and help out with tools and gear and t-shirts and things of that nature. But what it also does is it takes one more hat off of your operational volunteer, where they can just focus on being a volunteer, right? And or being a firefighter and answering on calls. And maybe they're already overtraining and quartermaster and open house and fundraising and recruitment, and they're on the interview committee. So again, if you're looking for folks to help out, right, whether it's operational or non-operational, your retirees and older adults, again, Facebook is where they're going to be, right? You want to make sure that you emphasize flexible volunteer opportunities, because we miss this. We'll put out and saying, hey, we need empty nesters, or hey, maybe you have time. And in their mind, they may be thinking, well, nah, I'm out of jumping on the back of a fire truck or a pumper and rolling out. Man, I can't do it that way. I can't move that fast, right? The way I say it is the way my DD Form 14 is set up. There's just certain things I'm not able to do anymore. And so make sure that you're specific in the flexible volunteer opportunities. Maybe you are looking for a bookkeeper. Maybe you are looking for, again, a quartermaster, somebody to help with training or things of that nature. So make sure that you're specific in the volunteer opportunities that you have when you're targeting and looking for and trying to connect with our retirees and our older adults. Oh, here's a perfect example of a post from a volunteer to fire department in Maryland, Burtonsville Volunteer Fire Department. As you can see, there's the post. Empty nester, time on your hands. Now what? Right? And it goes into everything that it does. It provides a sense, it's letting you know what they're looking for. It tells you, you can be an EMT, you can be, it also offers volunteer opportunities, create the last sentence, a renewed and revitalized spirit of self-worth and commitment towards impacting your community. And then you have your hashtags and your call to actions. And even if you take a look at the graphic, right? The graphic, it has the different types of folks, right? Because not all empty nesters are seniors. And so again, you have the different types of folks. it's saying that volunteers are needed, right? And so just really, really does and hits home to how this is a very good example of how to market or how to post on social media when you're looking for retirees and older adults. Man, here's a missed opportunity all as well, right? A lot of times we miss the family and friends of our own firefighters, our own members. They can be very strong advocates for recruitment and in the social media atmosphere. Let them tell your story. Allow them to tell your story. You're going to find them on Facebook and Instagram, right? And a lot of times they should be, or most likely are going to be already connected to your social media pages, and you'll see that they share stuff. They'll share certain information or certain posts, mainly when their family or friends are in it. But even then, once somebody shares it, the post now goes outside of your network and now reaches their network, and that's just more times that your information is being seen and is visible, right? And so those types of things, you want to make sure you tag family oriented events. You want those behind the scene content. Maybe it's cleaning up for open house. Maybe it's showing preparation for a boot give, if you guys do those types of things, right? And fundraisers or things like that, backpack giveaways. Anything that you guys do from a community standpoint, show the behind the scenes as well. That's always good stuff because people want to help. And so, sometimes people want to help behind the scenes. I don't want to be in front. I want to be behind the scenes, right? And then also the stories of those family and your current firefighters. Share those. Ask those members, hey, would you mind telling us how our fire department was able to help you out, or what do you appreciate about our fire department? And then they're not members, they're just family and friends and people in the community, right? And so those are the types of things that you want to share about your family, friends of firefighters, and those are the two channels would be most beneficial for you to do that. Wow. Current firefighters, our current folks, right? Our current members. Another missed opportunity. I'm starting. If you do go on my Facebook page, I love membership highlights. I love highlighting our members and the members of departments and showing people who we are and that we are volunteers. I absolutely love it. There are a lot of ways that you can do it, but you want to make sure that you highlight your volunteers. And again, what that does is that allows the post and the likes and the shares. Once people start doing that, it gets outside of your network and goes out and allows your content to be more visible. The things that you want to post your testimonials. You want to post user generated content. Maybe someone's doing fire training in the back, or ladder climbing or ladder training. And you want to share your post with their networks. Like I said, once it gets out, more people can see it, and then you're going to have more engagement. All right. So we talked about those, but I just want to make sure that we don't forget about these folks here. Your local influencers and community leaders, your potential career switchers, your lateral folks, and then of course your general public. And those are the different channels that you're going to be able to use those on. Maybe you have a local influencer in your area. Maybe they do all of the things around town to do within your area or your town or your county, and they have a really strong following on Facebook and Instagram. So you want to tap in with them. You want to engage with them. You want to connect with them and say, hey, maybe you can come and do a post about the department or the station or our apparatus, training nights, things of that nature. Okay. Lateral folks, right? Again, LinkedIn and Facebook, right? Looking for a change. Police right now are really looking for a change in scenery, but they still want to be able to protect and serve their community. A lot of your correctional officers are also looking for a solid change. So those are certain things certain ways that you're able to market and promote utilizing social media for that specific demographic that you're looking for. Now let's talk about actually creating the post. Like, let's make it. How am I going to make it? What am I going to put on it, right? What are some things that I have to do, right? So, boom, how to create those compelling posts. High quality images, videos, and action shots. The phones that we have today, whether you're Android or Apple, I'm an Apple folks. If you can in the chat, let me know what you are, if you're Apple or Android. But either way, okay, Marcos is Apple. Okay, I see you, Marcos. Do I need to roll my R's? Marcos. All right. I'm Apple. I'm Team Apple. And so that, but regardless if you have an Apple phone or Android phone, your photos are going to be 9 times out of 10 high quality enough, and your videos to be able to use for social media. I will say, however, if you still have a flip phone, all right, Meredith, Amy, I see you. If you still have a flip phone, let me just say this now. Stop. Right? Don't take pictures. You can use the phone, just don't take pictures with it. And if you have a flip phone, and you still have to text and hit the 3 buttons to get the letter that you want, then call me on the backside. I have a couple of spare phones I can send you. But when we're creating these compelling posts, again, the images from your phones are great. The videos from your phones are great. The other thing that you want to realize when we're taking video content, majority of your video should be shot vertically. I know most times we want to go horizontal, but if we're posting on social media, majority of our the most engaging content comes from videos that are vertical. All right. You want to make sure going down, you have clear and engaging headlines, attention grabbing, relevance. You want to have calls to actions. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. I'm going to give you some examples about calls to actions. And that's what you really want to do, right? You want to make sure you have a call to action. And then the informative and inspiring content. What are your values? What's your mission? Personal stories, and what are some of the benefits? The photo that you see are from clients of ours at North Sioux City in South Dakota, right? You see, find your second family. There's the call to action, become a volunteer today. I love the fact that they say volunteer. Because again, if looking at this post, you can't confuse it with career. Oh, that is a volunteer fire department, even though it says North Sioux City Fire Rescue. What they're asking you to do, what they're asking their audience to do in this post, who they're targeting, are volunteers. Now they also have career staff or paid staff, but in this specific post, they're targeting and looking for and recruiting volunteers. So they did that very well in that post. How it works, man, when we post and you have those creative and when you have those compelling posts and content, it's going to help people identify with and recognize your brand and your organization. And the biggest thing is it builds a connection between your organization and your community. Your community knows what you're about. They know that you're volunteers. They know that you're a volunteer for, and you're actively recruiting for volunteers. Now, here's what's funny. A lot of times, and we have clients all across the country, a lot of times I hear that they don't even know that we're volunteer. And our shirt says volunteer, and the apparatus says volunteer, and the building says volunteer. But do you say that you're a volunteer? And what I mean by that is in your post, just like we saw, you want to be specific and let them know that you're recruiting volunteers. Here's some content ideas, right? So what we're going to talk about next are some content ideas and things that you can do. You want to talk about, all of these are different posts for different types of content you can utilize or you can create. Again, we already talked about your training nights. Around the station, you can do a tour. You can show maybe dinner. You can show bunk rooms, things of that nature. A very good way is a day in the life. You can, hey, here's how we check out apparatus when we get to the station. hey, here's how we respond from home. I get a page or active 911 or how your responding app, and show people how they move from, or how they respond to a call and what it kind of looks like in being a volunteer. Again, a day in a life. Your checkouts, dinner, arriving to the station, your day job posts. Hey, here's what I do during the day. I'm a stand-up. I'm not a stand-up comic by day, but I have two positions or two jobs. I'm a volunteer firefighter and I'm a stand-up comic. And you want to show people that, oh, wow, okay, they actually aren't just career folks, and they have these are volunteers and they have other jobs, like I do, right? Maybe they're teachers, maybe they're insurance agents, maybe they're photographers, bus drivers for the schools. So anything, you want to be able to show that contrast of, hey, I do this during the day, but I also volunteer as well, right? And so here's a good example of a video from a station. Oh, let me go back. Oh, uh, technology, right? Apologize.
Morning, my name is Chris Dunn. I'm the lieutenant at Station 5 on B shift, and every day we start with our apparatus checks.
Walter, I think we lost the audio on your video.
Really short, really sweet, right to the point. Some things that I would have done differently. I would have added somebody talking in the background about what's going on, and what's happening, because we also have to remember that the people watching this video, again, if this is a recruitment video, they have no clue of what's going on. So maybe you want to talk them through the check. Maybe instead of all of those checks in one video, maybe the video is just one specific check and you discuss what's going on. Hey, I'm checking this out. I have to check this and this, and I have to make sure this is right. And maybe it's just that section. And so I think that would probably be about 8. If they were to take that advice, that would be almost 8 to 9 different videos for them, right? And so again, talking it through. And maybe you can add music. Maybe if it's a long one like this where there isn't any talking, maybe you can, there are ways to add music to it that's going to also increase that engagement. The one thing I will say about social media, if you don't know this already, is that videos get more engagement and are pushed out more frequently than photos. Not to say that photos don't work, but out of the two, if you shoot a video, if you post a video, Facebook and Instagram and your social media platforms are going to push video content out to the masses, or out, and have it be seen more than just your regular word posts or posts with photos. So just keep that in mind. If you know, you know. If you don't, you will now after this. A lot of people ask me, what is the difference between stories and reels? Because both Facebook and Instagram both have stories and reels. And a lot of people don't know this. So I just want to make sure that you guys do. Stories are available for 24 hours. They're on your timeline, they're on your feed, they're visible to your audience for 24 hours. After that, they're gone. The video that you post is not going to be there. It's gone. Poof. Like David Blaine. Gone. And they're only going to be seen by the folks that are connected to your page already. So somebody that's not connected is not going to see it. Not to say that it's not good to post stories, just something to keep in mind. If you want this video to be around, you want more people to see it, post the story, right? 24 hours. Your reels are going to be there. They're videos or short-term videos, but you can go back and take a look at, excuse me, all of the videos or all of the reels that you've posted, on your timeline. throughout your Facebook history. They're going to be there. And again, they can be viewed by people inside and outside of your Facebook group or Facebook network. So just want to make sure that if you didn't know that, now you do, right? So, and very good when we're posting video and content. My rule is do both. It's not going to hurt. More people are going to see it. And you can do the same video, post the same video as a story, and then turn around and post the same video as a reel, and it's not going to hurt anything. In fact, it should help increase engagement. Let's talk about calls to action, CTAs. I love my CTAs. We don't do enough of this. We just truly don't. We don't. And here's some things that you definitely want to keep in mind. You want to play up sensitivity, right? Act now, join today, limited classes, limited time, things that are going to make people want to hit that button and find out more and at least connect with you. You can come up with call to actions and see what works, right? Call to actions, hashtags, things like that. And to keep it consistent and to be noticed, what they're saying is 90 to 150 characters, right? Anytime you post, you want anything between 90 to 150 characters in your post. You can post longer, but the posts that get the most engagement are right at 90 to 150 characters. You also want to make sure that you're utilizing hashtags. So hashtags and call to actions with posts that are 90 to 150 characters or words are going to work, right? And so if you call it a pound sign, if you call it the hash symbol, the number symbol, the pound sign, I'm right there with you. I'm old school too. It was a pound sign on rotary phones. I still call it a pound, but it's actually called a hash or a hashtag. And so you can create hashtags that are also call to actions. As you can see on the screen, you have join today or volunteer today in a couple of different ways. And so here's some other examples, some other great examples of hashtags that you guys can definitely use, right? Sign up is a call to action. Let's get started, learn more. And then you have your hashtags that are also call to actions. Join DVFA or join your particular department, apply today, ride with us, come check us out. All of those are really, really great calls to actions. Now, here's what I would like for you to do. Here's some homework. And if you don't do it, then you still get an A. But here's some homework. I want you to go through your station's Facebook page or social media page and take a look at how many posts within the last 3 months that you posted, but you didn't use a call to action, where you could have. And here's the thing, you can use a call to action on just about every post, whether it be community information, the roads are flooded, membership highlights, training highlights, join, or any one of those hashtags or call to actions examples, you should be able to utilize in some way, form, or fashion. If not, become a firefighter, become a volunteer firefighter. Very, very easy to utilize. But a lot of times we miss calls to actions that are going to help people engage and, click the button and join with us. So we want to make sure that we include that word volunteer. And I talked about that a little bit earlier. A lot of times people just forget that we are volunteer organizations, that there are opportunities for them to volunteer, whether it be operational or non-operational. So we have to be the ones to tell them, yes, it's on the shirt. Yes, it's on the hat. Yes, it's on the apparatus. Yes, it's on the building. Yes, their grandfather or great grandfather were members, but a lot of times people forget that we're volunteers. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you add that word volunteer to your department's vocabulary. You want to constantly inform them, and remind the community that you're volunteer organizations. And then again, make sure that you say, that you showcase your current volunteers and capitalize their social media network. That's the biggest thing. If they do something great at the department, post it, tag them, because once you tag them, now it gets outside to their network. And somebody will go, man, Walter is a volunteer firefighter. Oh man, I could do that too. If Walter can do it, I can do it too. And so those are things that, or they may just come and ask me, hey man, I saw that you're a volunteer firefighter. I didn't know that. How does that work? How do I become one? What's it like? What's the process? And so those are different things. And again, now your member is an active recruiter as well. So just certain things that you want to do. Again, if you take a look at this graphic that's done, we have a place for you, right? Volunteer with us, apply now. Call to action is there. We're letting you know what to do. That we're a volunteer organization. Call us and we'll tell you based off of what you're looking for that we have a spot for you. But we have a spot for you. Whether you want to be operational, non-operational, come join us. Apply now. All right. So we want to make sure that you're utilizing the 3 R's. You want to reuse, repurpose, and recycle. Don't kill yourself trying to come up with a brand new post every single time, every single day. We run out of ideas. It happens. Go back 3 months, go back 6 months. If there was a photo or a incident or a post that had a lot of great traction and engagement, turn around and use that again. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all, especially from a recruitment standpoint, right? To think that you have to continue to create new content every single time you post, don't do it. Most of us are volunteers, if not all of us, and time is of the essence. So make sure that you reuse, repurpose, and recycle, right? See what works and do it again and again and again. All right. And it's going to improve your SEO, which is your search engine optimization. It's going to strengthen your branding, and it's also going to help you reach a wider audience. Creating an engaging event page. Another missed opportunity a lot of departments have is when they have certain events, they don't create an event for it on Facebook. And this is primarily going to Facebook because it has those events. So the reason, let's say you have an open house and you're posting on Facebook, your Facebook page, that you're having an open house. That's great. If you create an event as well, in addition to your regular posts, now you have 2 methods of social media, 2 posts that are going out at the exact same time. You have your posts that you're posting, and then you have an event. And with those events, people are like, and people say, I'm coming, and people say they're attending, people say maybe they're not attending, all of those different things. But now you also have a roster of people that are interested in whatever the event is. It might be training, CPR training, open house, parades, anything like that. Post it on your Facebook, because now you'll be able to utilize that data in a recruitment way. Make sure that you engage with your attendees and post event. The biggest thing is follow up. Follow up after your event. Go back and look who went and who attended. And then, you can reach out and say, hey, I noticed that you attended our event. Wanted to see if you were interested in becoming a volunteer member with us. You have all of their contact information right there, at least Facebook contact information. So creating a Facebook event is the way to go. Another question I get asked is, what's an organic post versus a boosted post? And we'll talk about that quickly. Very, very simple. Organic means you did it. It's unpaid. You went onto your Facebook account and you said, hey, there was an accident on Mardale Road, or you did a recruitment post, hey, join us, recruitment information session on Saturday, June 15th. You did that. You typed it out. It's an organic post. You hit post, and the people that are in your network are going to be able to see it. A lot of times, those are what we use those organic posts for: accident reports, recruitment, and member highlights. No money's behind it, right? Organic. Boosted posts is when money's behind it. So maybe there was a post that did well. Maybe you had 8, 9 different shares. Maybe 15, 20 people commented on it. Maybe 15 to 30 people hit like. That's a really good engagement. So what you can do is you can boost it, put a little money behind it. And so now it's either going to continue to be out there, pushed in the social media algorithm. So more people are going to be able to see it because there's more money behind it. Right. And so that's the biggest thing between organic and a boosted post. And then those are the channels at the bottom that you can actually do boosted posts on. Some tools in the toolbox. Here's some things for you. Hey, I'm not a graphic designer, and if you can do Microsoft Paint, if you can do PowerPoint, and if you can do Google Slides, then there are tools out there that are going to help you create social media posts. You have Meta for Business. Probably the hottest one right now is the one in the middle called Canva. Check it out. If you're a 501c nonprofit organization, you can actually get Canva for free. Canva's amazing. I use Canva all the time. Canva is amazing. Hootsuite as well. What Hootsuite does is if you want to do one post and you can create one post, hit enter, and it will shoot that same post to Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever, with one post. It connects your Hootsuite account to all of your social media platforms. You post one time, and it's going to shoot it out to all of your social media platforms that you're connected to. Really, really good. Adobe Creative Cloud Express for a little bit more folks that have more graphic skills. Splice the same way. Buffer. And here's one that you may not know is NVFC has a if you're a member of the NVFC, they have a website called makemeafirefighter.com. makemeafirefighter.com, where they have graphics and tools that are fire EMS related that you can already utilize. They have words and different ads that you can kind of put together and piece together and make your own graphic and have it department specific. And it looks very, very good. You have no graphic skills. I guarantee you, if you go to makemeafirefighter.com and take a look at their tools there, if you'll be able to create something that looks really, really nice and professional, and it's going to help you in your recruitment endeavors. All right, ladies and gentlemen. If anyone has any questions, now would be the time for those questions. I'm sorry, I'm an office space guy. No questions? Not one? Bueller. That's an old head reference. I'm an old guy. I get it. Hey, Andrew, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Again, this is going to be recorded. You have my information if you want to contact me specific about anything that we've talked about. If you want to go more in depth, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here for you guys. Make sure that you guys are on and following and hit like on Join Montana Fire, the Facebook page, and see the cool stuff that we're doing for you guys, across the state as far as first arriving. We're talking about marketing, we're talking about social media. Please, we're here for you. It's all about making sure that we recruit. And the biggest thing is that we want you to recruit, retain, and repeat. If you don't take anything else away from tonight, recruit, retain, repeat. My name is Walter Campbell. Again, we're first arriving. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself. Let Kim know, or Michael as well, the project manager over the whole thing. Nope. Hey, Lewis, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Marcos.
And Walter, thank you very much. And so everybody knows, I have put the link in with the certificate of completion, and I've also put the link in for the evaluation. Please take a minute and give us your feedback. We would love that. And Walter, thank you very much. I'm going to ask you one more thing. How would you feel about giving a 1-minute preview to our session next month, because you're going to be talking about social media again next month in July. That invitation will be coming out to you guys within the next week. But can you give us a preview real quick?
Yeah, also I have a couple of let me make sure I have a couple of training sessions. This training session, summers is all about training sessions. So I just want to make sure what's next month? I have it. I want to make sure I get the title right. I apologize. Behind the need. Yes, right. Yep, find the need behind the need is going to be the next webinar that we're going to do. And so what I want to, that's really going to talk about, let me ask this question. How many times have you said to yourself, man, we lost this person and we don't know why we lost them. We lost them earlier in the recruitment process. Maybe you lost them once they became members and they went to EMT class and you lost them. But within that first year, you just lose them. They ghost you. You have no clue why they left. Well, a lot of times that's because we haven't done our job as leadership. We haven't found out the why. We haven't found out the need behind their need in joining our department. And that could be just as simple as asking specific questions to figure out why they're there, right? A lot of us, somebody calls or somebody emails and says, hey, I want to be a volunteer. We go, all right, cool. Here's the application. Here's the interview process. You got to do this. Go get your fingerprints. Give me this. Give me that. And we haven't really asked why they want to be volunteers or first responders. And then that's the most crucial part, because if you never know why somebody is there, then you can't fulfill that need because you don't even know why they're there. We're just so happy that they asked to join our department that we just say, okay, here's the application and here's what we do. And we press on, and 6 months go by and we lose them and we have no reason why. And the reason why is because we never found out the need behind the need. So that's going to be July. What's that, Camp? What is that? July 24th. Wednesday, July 24th. Yep. Wednesday, July 24th. Finding the need behind the need. So again, hopefully you can join us. If not, hopefully you guys can join us, and make sure you tell folks about it, and we'll be here.
Thank you so much, Walter. Everybody have a good and safe night.
Take care.
Thank you.